Hello, everyone. Can you hear us? Please confirm in the chat. Is there someone online?
Yes.
Cool. Cool. Thank you.
Oh, this is already on? Yeah. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us. This will be the fourth session in our career journey, and we are very excited to have all of you here. To start with, where's the slide? Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. To start with, we acknowledge the traditional owners of this land, and we pay our respects to the elders past, present, and emerging. We would like to thank all of you for your support, and especially all the speakers who have found time in their busy lives to come and inspire us. I would now get our ambassadors, Tracy and Carolina, and to come and speak with you about the CDU IT Code Fair week. I know we are all very excited about the IT Code Fair and want to know more details. I'm sure that they will be able to clear out a lot of your queries.
Hello, everyone. So my name is Carolina. So the idea for today is to explain you what's the CodeFair. And we can say it's a platform for students to show our talents. And this includes some networking opportunities, also some skill building sessions, and of course, the most exciting part, which is the competitions and challenges. So speaking from last year, we can say that we had 200 attendants, also 20 companies. We had the employers speed dating, which is an opportunity for last year students to meet potential employers. And from last year, 30% were hired by some IT businesses, and also 30% were hired in the anti-government. So those numbers speak about the impact of the IT Code Fair. So also we had 64 hours for competitors, which means all your projects, all the things you are working on, all the ideas you have could be a potential project to present in the IT Code Fair. So this is the most important part, the competitions. So Tracy is going to explain us what's about.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. How are you guys today? All good? Yeah. May I know how many of you are first semester student? Can you raise your hand? Cool, half of you. And how many of you are last year student? Yeah, perfect. Thank you. So for the senior student, the one in the final semester, bear with me for a bit because I would like to explain a little bit to the first year student about what the IT Code Fair is. And as my friend Caroline already featured some of the feature of the IT Code Fair event. So I would like to say, what is the IT Code Fair event? It's gonna have three challenges for you. It's gonna have data science challenge, cyber security challenge, business innovation challenge, and we're gonna have the competition. Firstly is coding competition. For the coding competition, you will have three streams. For the developing competition, you will it's gonna for first year student who haven't completed 80 core unit yet, and the capable competition it's gonna for students who finish the first year 80 core units and study in the second years but not finished yet. The proficient competition will have for the student with in the last semester more than 120 units, and there are research competition and some of other competition will be confirmed to you soon in the next month. And you can join as individual or you can join as a team. For some challenge like data science challenge, business innovation challenge, you need to join as a team. But for coding competition, you can join as individual. And okay, 1 second. So let's have a clearer idea about what IT Code Fair is. We will watch this video.
Welcome to the 8th CDU IT Code Fair, an annual event bringing together local industry, government, schools, and university staff to promote the growth of ICT in the Northern Territory. This is a unique opportunity for CDU students to showcase their talents, network with potential employers, and use their creativity and IT skills to solve real-world business problems. CDU IT CodeFair also promotes the benefits of IT education and training for middle schools and senior college students, fostering relationships between students, industry, local government, and community. This event
The second.
one of a kind in the team.
Can you play again?
The first CodeFair was run in.
Wait a second, sorry, we're having some trouble trying to present. But it's not there. So you can see it. So here we go.
Welcome to the 8th CDU IT CodeFair, an annual event bringing together local industry, government, schools, and university staff to promote the growth of ICT in the Northern Territory. This is a unique opportunity for CDU students to showcase their talents, network with potential employers, and use their creativity and IT skills to solve real-world business problems. CDU IT CodeFair also promotes the benefits of IT education and training for middle schools and senior college students, fostering relationships between students, industry, local government, and community. This event is one of a kind in the NT. The first CodeFair was run in 2014, which was 18 higher education students, and has since grown to become the largest event organized by CDU Information Technology Discipline. In 2020, we hosted more than 150 participants from vet and higher education, with 16 industry sponsors, 35 judges, and 19 industry participants in the employees we dated from 29 organizations across the territory. This year, around 185 students will take part in various competitions and challenges designed to showcase their working applications, present their research, and demonstrate their innovative communication skills. The Business Innovation Challenge gives students a unique opportunity to solve real-life problems with innovative IT solutions. Students took part in designing the Citizen Portal, the authentic project hosted by the Department of Corporate and Digital Development to facilitate communication between government and NT residents. Other previous winners in Business Innovation Challenge include NT Fast Tracker and MyFuel NT. CDU IT CodeFair is also an excellent opportunity for employers to source graduate IT staff, with many of our students receiving internships or offers of employment thanks to our employer speed dating sessions. CDU IT CodeFair is also recognized in National University Teaching Awards organized by Universities Australia as part of the Citation Award for Outstanding Contribution to Student Learning. Finally, 4 of our top interns will be recognized for their achievements at the Northern Territory for Digital Excellence, taking place at the Parliament House tomorrow night. On behalf of the organizing committee, we'd like to thank you all for attending CDU IT CodeFair 2021, and we wish our participants the best of luck.
Yep. Yep. So and after all of the information here, can you guys tell me why you need to join IT CodeFair? Now, do you have answer for that? Yeah, sure. Anyone else? You? Yep. Cool. Yeah.
Explore all the challenges.
Yes, perfect. And anyone else? That's very straight to the point. Yeah, so as a participant last year, joined the IT Code Fair, I really encourage you guys to join the IT Code Fair events. If you are the first year student, you come to join and know about how the IT Code Fair is. You have chance to compete with, like, showcase your skill, and also learn a lot about teamwork. Also learn, learn about teamwork and develop. I last years when I joined, I was a first year's student, and through the IT Code Fair, I got a opportunity to meet a lot of potential employer, and I got a job after the IT Code Fair. I really encourage you guys to come and join the IT Code Fair. It's not guarantee you guys gonna 100% get a job, but it's a good platform for you to showcase your skill, meet your potential employer, like you say, and also get a job. So we already talked about what is the IT Code Fair, why you need to join IT Code Fair, and when it's gonna happen. So this year, the IT Code Fair will happen in 27th of October, and it's gonna be sooner than the annual one. And more detail about what challenge please follow up with us on Facebook page, and look for the IT Central, and we will reveal more information when the date approaching. And the next one will be where the location will be in Doubletree Hilton still for this year, and the Code Fair week and many other challenges will happening in here in CDU campus. And just look for the information in the website, and we send you, like, do the promotion about that. And the information how to register for the events and the challenge. And next, I would like to invite Cherry to come on stage to say a few words to us. Thank you. Welcome, Cherry.
Hi, thank you everyone for being here. We're really excited about CDU IT Code Fair this year. And most of all, before I start anything, I would just like you guys to give a big hands for the ambassadors. Like we have all these students ambassadors. Some of them are alumni and they won awards and they are here to share experience. And we've got also a few alumni like Rifat is here to share his experience, and then the pathway in getting there. Yes, so CDU IT Code Fair is an annual event. I think this is our 8th time now that we have an annual event. In the past, we only have like one day, and we started with 7 students. And look at how much it grows. So we decided, after we get the feedback from a lot of industry people, said that our IT students, maybe 4 years ago, they were more onto technical skills. They're not very people. So they're not very people person. They don't really want to talk. So we had to actually make it into a series of different workshops to train them how to present, how to speak up, how to handle interviews, something that is particularly relevant to IT students. So that's what we are trying and aiming for. Okay, so just now Tracy asked that we have like 50% here are first year or maybe first semesters. Okay, so, and I think she mentioned a little bit about coding competition. I understand that even though you are IT, we have so many pathways for IT. Some of you might be in information systems. You are not really hardcore programmers. You like business, but at the same time, you are in tune with all the technology that can help businesses. So I would say like this is the group that is most likely fit for Business Innovation Challenge. And Business Innovation Challenge is hosted by NTG, DCDD. Okay, so what they do is they are giving us some real project for us to think about, like the one that you saw in the video, like Citizen Portal, something that we can connect all the community, people within the NT to the local government.
And then at the same time, you are allowed to just not having to use programming skills, because I think you've got different skill sets. When you're in information system, you're more like business analyst. You will be doing diagram, you'll be doing designing of interface, making it easy to use for user friendly, basically. So this would probably be something for you. Now we have data science. Okay, so for someone, is there anyone data science here? Yeah, so you're into statistics, analytics. Yeah, so we need people like you to come and spot the trend in the society. I think last year what we had is really interesting. We asked data science students to come and analyze the law, family law in the NT, because as you understand, different states has different set of laws, and the law should be understandable, because if it's so difficult to understand, it's so complicated, then no one will understand the law and follow the law. So we try to come up with the way algorithm that we can analyze how complex is the law, how many times it has been revised, and so on. So that would be your job probably this time, but we don't know yet what's the quest for this year. Just letting you know, the theme for this year is AI. So it's AI, but still we're going to do some data science and analytics that is related to AI, of course, because this is a topic that is the biggest and coming in at the moment. Now, if you are someone with lines of code, scripts, so coding competitions, this would be very suitable for you. So in coding competition, we have got 3 level developing. That's for first year students. Okay, we've got also capable coders. So these are when you're in second year. So you're not going to compete with all levels, so to make it fair. Also at the same time, if you're in the third year, then you would be in proficient coders. Okay, so we expect more from third year than first year. Okay, so please don't feel in what happened last year is we have very low number of people competing in developing and capable. Everyone is in proficient. What I feel that because they feel intimidated. I'm not ready yet. I'm just first year students. But what do you expect? You expect that you're gonna finish your third year before you find a job. What if you are in first year, you study and you also do the job at the same time? Wouldn't that be even better? So don't miss the chance to show yourself, okay, and then get yourself out there, okay? We also have research competition for students doing master thesis, right? So this is something that you can get your idea out there. Maybe perhaps you never know, someone might hear about your research and look, I'm interested in working with you and provide some grant for you to do PhD. You never know. Yeah, so something like that. So please make sure that you get your project out. I really feel that it's a shame when you put in your best effort and after you submit to your lecturers, you kept it in your computer. Okay, so let's put it out there, make it able to use so you get feedback, grow from that. Okay, so our CodeFair ambassadors are going to be in touch with you later about where, when, information sessions that it's going to be, so that I think about 1 month before, let's say the end of September, you should hear from us that we are going to invite NTG to come and talk to you, the judge themselves, to talk to you about what do they expect for data science challenge, for business innovation challenge, and so on. Okay, for coding competition, you're welcome to use whatever you have got in different units to show. Or even if you didn't work on it in the units, but you have that as a concept, your own idea, present it. Okay, don't worry that people will copy you, because when you put them there out there, you are presenting your own originality. You're the first one who presented. Make sense? Okay, great. So today, I'm going to pass this back to our MC, and then he's going to introduce us our fantastic speaker. Thank you.
So, as you guys know, life never goes upwards. It is always a roller coaster ride. You see successes and you see losses all the time. We have Dante here today, who will be speaking to us about the value of resilience when you're trying to build your IT careers. Dante is a multi-talented guy.
Multi-talented student.
Yeah. It's my first time emceeing, guys. Yeah. So Gandhi is a multi-talented guy. He's the expert in residence at Darwin Innovation Hub. He is now a lecturer at CDU, and he also helps digital businesses grow as a consultant. He will now come and share his experiences and tell us what it's like to build a career and face your challenges.
I'm definitely multi-challenged, don't worry. I was expecting to fall over on the stairs on the way up. It is like really informal right now. I've been wearing these shoes all day, and honestly, my socks are more interesting. So if you get bored, or you get fidgety, I've got ADHD, so I tend to get a little bit fidgety. Just look at my socks and realise that you're doing better than I am right now. Are there any holes? Nearly a hole. So what I'm talking about is resilience. Resilience is just one of these words that gets thrown around so much. You know, I get down, I get back up again. Oh, I get down, I get back up again. But have you ever lost $150,000? They had $150,000, bye. They went, see ya, never didn't see me again. That was my first startup. Ouch. I made a lot of mistakes with it. Well, obviously I made a lot of mistakes with that startup. But one of the greatest mistakes I made was that I didn't work out whether anybody actually needed the technology that I was developing. You might have a flyby. Some of you probably work at Coles or Woolworths, right? As one of your side job that you're doing. Flybys cards, Woolworths rewards cards. I had a brilliant idea. What if all the small businesses in Australia could have their own reward system? It was all connected. Everybody was connected. Wouldn't that be amazing? You go in and you just go to an iPad, get your rewards, and walk out and you get qualified for prizes and discounts and all kinds of stuff. It'd be an amazing thing. So what I did, I set up this app. And it was really well done. Coded it myself in Swift. Poorly, but that's okay. Stephen Paul will be helping out with that later. Coded it really badly, just in general. My coding ability was just whatever I could look up on YouTube and occasionally popping into GitHub and going, oh, please someone help me. Stack Overflow, my God, my savior. Oh man, I'm a terrible coder, but I know some good coders now. But back then, I got my minimum viable product going, got it going, found it it seemed to work. And then I had to put it in the real world. Now, at the time, I lived on the Gold Coast. So if you know the geography of Australia, the Gold Coast is at the bottom of Queensland. Really nice catch. Nowhere near as hot as Darwin. So nice. So what I decided to do, in case this went horribly wrong, I would decide to do my test market about a 1.5 hour drive away from the Gold Coast, in a little town in country New South Wales called Lismore. Lismore's a great little space. It's contained, it's not really close to anything, close to Byron Bay maybe, but I was far enough away from Byron Bay for it not to be a major issue. So I thought, well, what are we going to do with this? I'll put it into 20 shops, 30. Let's put it into 50 different businesses in the Lismore region. So I had to buy 50 iPads. Now this is back in 2016. So the iPad was not new. together with WordPress and I learned how to use that. Looked at a bit of Drupal and went, oh no. And Joomla, if anyone's ever had to go through that nightmare, holy crap, what a terrible system. But at some point I decided this website thing could work. So I made a couple of $1,000 and another couple of $1,000 and another couple of $1,000. And then people just assume because you build websites, you're also an expert in IT. So I was setting up printers, helping people with their Zoom and their Teams stuff. Teams wasn't even around by then. Helping people to connect printers and monitors and to use this new thing called Canva. Suddenly you became an expert at everything. Like, wow, I feel great. I may have lost $150,000, but I know how to connect a printer to a computer. At least I can do that. And then I found a little bit more confidence. Then my next startup happened. I started a digital marketing agency. At that time, the whole outsourcing thing wasn't really strong. But one thing I knew for sure is that I can't afford to employ a whole lot of people in Darwin, not at Darwin rent. Have you seen how expensive the rent is here? Crazy. So this little step forward to then a digital marketing agency. And then COVID-19 hit. Yes. Oh, sorry, no. People died, sorry. Highly inappropriate, but yes. Because everybody needed their IT services, digital marketing services, very bad code. Thankfully, I didn't have to do much of that anymore. They needed websites, they needed to get online. We had takeaway shops that needed to suddenly do home deliveries. It was an opportunity like a lifetime. I haven't seen an opportunity like that since Y2K. I'm old enough to remember that. I've worked in projects with that. I thought I might be, that's why I look so young, so, well, respectable. So what happened is this digital marketing agency started to take off. At my peak, I had 5 full-time staff here in Darwin and 30 contractors. I was working on projects all over Australia. And then what happened? These people, they have a habit of sucking up all the talent in the Northern Territory. We saw before that, like, what was it, 30% of participants got employed by the Northern Territory government. Some of them were my staff. I can't pay the same rates and benefits of what the Northern Territory government can. So what happened is that little by little, one staff member said, oh, I'm going to go and work for the government because they need more people to help test COVID-19. Oh, I'm going to work for the government because they need more people to be able to process all the admin to do with COVID-19. I'm going to work, and I kept hiring more people, and 3 months later, they'd go and work at the airport to be able to do the interviews you had to do at the airport to get in here, and they were handing out masks and handing out rapid tests and everything to do with COVID-19. I lost my entire staff, all my local staff. I thought, well, I could pay them more, but then I would pay myself nothing. I wouldn't be able to survive. So we're back to square one. I didn't lose $150,000, but I lost a bit. Not in that I lost that money, but I was no longer capable of taking on new work. These amazing opportunities would come forward because we did so much great work. Sorry, I don't have the staff anymore. Hungry Jack's in the city and I had a lot in common. Not just the delicious or average burgers, but they couldn't open on weekends at one stage because they couldn't get enough staff. I had to close my office because I didn't have any staff to put in. So I started doing a lot more outsourcing, a lot more of the outsourcing and contracting. But at some point I just went, I'm so sick of this. All I'm doing is running around, doing everyone else's jobs, giving everyone else something to do, and I'm exhausted. Sell the digital marketing agency. So I made back a little bit of money from that. I go, what's next? I get knocked down, I get back up again. I get knocked down, I get up again, I get down again, until finally I decided that contracting and education is the best paid part I had to play. I am a crap coder, so bad. Do not code check me, it is horrific. But I know how to teach, kind of, not code, but other things, entrepreneurship, design thinking, all those soft skills that probably people kind of struggle with. At one stage, I was a kid on a Commodore 64 programming choose your own adventure games in BASIC. You've ever heard of that language? I can't believe it's someone actually not so much old enough, but you've read the history books, right? Back when the dinosaurs roamed the earth, there was BASIC, and there's a Commodore 64, a remarkably advanced computer for its time. So we thought. And I suppose that the lesson in all that, of going from a Commodore 64 being a kid who was a nerd who got beaten up at school, who literally got a head flushed into toilets, which was ridiculous, because I think that's an American thing, because they got the toilets that fill right up. For Australia, you're trying to drown someone in a toilet, it's like, what are you trying to do, man? This is getting really awkward for both of us. They're getting beaten up, getting knocked back by girls, being knocked back by boys, being knocked back by everybody, because I was a nerd. And I just really someone in here can relate to that. Because they weren't the sporty kid. They weren't the kid who was necessarily able to be charismatic and woo everybody and have all the confidence to step in front of a room that's, you know, a quarter full of people and tell a story about their failures in life. But at some point, that resilience, that knock down, get back up again, knock down, get back up again, helps you to realise that none of it actually matters. If you're afraid of your parents being ashamed of you because you failed at something, just remember that in 20 years' time, they won't remember the failure. They'll just remember the good times they had. My baby boy, my baby girl, not only moved interstate to go to another university, but went to another country to go to university. My baby boy, my baby girl, was able to do things that I was never able to do. Yeah, they failed a unit at university. Then they got back up and did it again. And again until they got it right. That's the experience you're going to go through with CodeFair. You're going to try some projects and they're just not going to get there. You think, oh, I can't get past this one hurdle. And that's when you realise you're not doing it alone. Resilience on your own is hard. Discipline on your own is hard. But nobody in here is sitting on their own. They're sitting really close to somebody. You're going to have a team to work with. Turn to them. There is absolutely no shame in asking the person next to you to say, I don't know how to do this. You're a coder. I can probably do the presentation. What are you good at? You're really good at writing. You can put together the presentation. Every single part of your team will have a way for you to get through from I'm failing and falling down to together, everyone achieves more. So just fall back on your team, fall back on your crew. They are as interested in your success as you are. So you make mum proud, make dad proud. Your brother who seems to do everything right will make him proud too. Your sister who's just so much more good looking than you, who always gets the favour of your parents, you'll make her proud too. Not because you succeeded, but because every time you hit a hurdle, you got over it. I'm Dante and James, thank you so much.
Thanks for that, Dante. Now the next part of this session is a small game in which everyone will be involved. Can I have Carolina on the stage for that?
Well, after that brilliant speech, there is not much to say. So let's play. We're gonna, we're gonna have some fun now. The idea is to play a game. Maybe you're a little bit familiar with Kahoot in some lecturers, maybe. So we can.
Narration with Henry Center and anti-profession.
So for now, we're gonna play another game, which is quite similar. So the idea is for you to find some of the answers we were talking about, of course, about the CodeFair. But there's going to be just one prize. You have to be fast. Also, you have to be the smartest. Not only here, but also you're competing with people in Sydney and online. So there's not going to be so many questions, just 7, I guess. But remember, it's about not only to be the let's let us to set it up, and we'll do it.
Can you unconnect? It takes so long time.
Okay, in the meantime, we can have maybe three questions from the public. So do we have any questions about the IT CodeFair? How's that? Does someone have a question? Okay. That's a really, really good question. So there is no language, any language, a preferable one. Is about what you know. Sherry mentioned. It's about your skills. If you prefer Java, it's all right. If you prefer Python, it's all good. It doesn't have any specific language. It's just about your creativity and how you code. How elegant is your code? How simple is your code? Maybe some techniques you can use. Let's say usability testing. Some testing or some unit testing, or maybe how simple the code is. So it's just up to you. Yeah.
I can maybe give more details about the way we judge is that for all coding competitions, you are not judging on your code alone. Okay. So what are we looking for? We're looking at workability. How much are you completing the cycle of what you're trying to do? The second thing we're looking at is innovation. Is there any difference from what you have created with the one that is existing at the moment? We're also looking at user experience. Okay, is it easy to use, easy to work, and remember? And then the last bit is your pitch. We're not only looking at your work, but looking at the way you present it. So presenting it is very important too. So I would suggest that this is a very good question that we come to this. So I would want you to, when you develop something or your project that you created last semester, think about it. If you're going to make a pitch, 2 minutes pitch, what are you going to say? What's the problem? What's the motivation? How does that software or application that you created answer that? What was the features that yours is special from other ones? And then do a bit of like go through user interfaces. Does that make sense? Then you talk about how this can help solving the problem again. Because people will remember only 3 things. What did you talk about? Okay. Why is it important? And so what to do next? So you want them to remember that 3 things. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Sherry, for that. So now we have the QR on the screen. Please scan it and try to set your real name, because we have a prize. If you are like anonymous, I mean, I cannot give you the prize. So let's try to do that. So for now we have 32 people. So let's wait for a little bit. And after that,
2 or 3 minutes.
we'll run the game.
Still people joining, so we give 2 more minutes. You just tell the 2 more
Okay,
minutes.
2 more minutes to join the game. So now we have 50 people. I think that's good. Okay, so how to do
Still, people still joining.
Yeah, well, I think it's all right.
Yeah, when it's 70. Okay. We start
Okay,
10
we're
minutes.
gonna start now. So remember to be quick and think
Ready?
before.
Yeah, go.
Go. Okay. I think it's pretty easy. We have Sibyl there, Abed there, Juvan. Wow. Okay, it's a hard competition. Just one left. Okay, we have a winner. Yeah, it looks like.
Hang on.
I think it was pretty easy. The questions were pretty easy.
We just wait until everyone finish. And yeah.
So we're gonna let all people finish. So still there are some people figuring out the answers. It's all right. It's not about the competition. You already have to know about resilience, so it's not a prize. It's just a game. Relax.
So if any questions are not sure, so we can answer.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. If you have any question you were in doubt, just please raise your hand and we can give you the answer or the most likely answer.
The question you can show on the question.
All right. What did you say?
Yeah, the first one and the fifth one is the most incorrect one.
Okay, so talking about the answers, so the first question was, when will CDU IT Code Fair happen? So it's going to be the 27th of October. So this one had like a few answers incorrectly. The second one, it was in how many challenges you can participate. So it's all of them is the answer. Of course, you can choose. It could be just one. This one is about the language, so it's as many as you want, the language of the coding part. Is participation compulsory? No, it's not, but it's highly recommended. So if you're here, it's because you want to be there. Also, what's the main goal? I think these are all the main goals for the IT Code Fair. Showcasing talent, also being a platform for job seekers and connecting students with industry. Can the IT Code Fair secure a job? No, not really, but it's a great opportunity. You saw the percentages of people who were hired, so you have a very good chance. And also how to register, so you have to go to the website and do the registration there. So that's all for this game. Thanks for joining. And so let's see who was our winner. So it was Abed. Who is Abed? Is here Abed? Congrats. Yeah. Let's give him an applause. So at the end, we're going to give you your prize. No, it's not. Sorry. So
welcome to
can
stage.
Yeah, welcome to stage. Come here for another applause.
Actually,
Sherry, can you join us to give the prize, please?
talk something about
Too much pressure. All right. So what time is it? Okay, we're just 2 minutes.
3 minutes.
So now we're going to have a break. So please join us for some biscuits and some tea. And after that, it's just for 15 minutes. And after that, we'll be back for the main panel. Thank you. Please join us at 3:15. We'll be back for the main panel. Welcome back, everyone. So now we're going to have the most exciting part. I'm going to introduce Arsh. Arsh is part of ITSA, the club. So it's the time for me to promote our club. Also, you can join us online. But also, Arsh is being an ambassador for the IT CodeFair, and he has amazing ideas about how to use technology for well-being and for the good of people. So the mic is all yours, Arsh.
Hey guys. Oh, that was unexpected. Cool. So guys, this is the industry panel session, and we have a fantastic guest with us. And so basically, the guests are from all sorts of IT domains, from business analysts to programmers to even user design. And firstly, I would like to acknowledge Barbara White. So she's one of our guests today, and she was one of the founding member of IT CodeFair, and she really helped IT CodeFair, just being a really good successful project, and it is helping a lot of IT professionals today, like the new IT professional students, like students going to the industry. I'm sorry, I don't have Asperger's syndrome. It's just that when I'm thinking too fast, I cannot speak properly. So yeah, without wasting any time, we'll just introduce the guests. So we have Jack McCaw. He's a business analyst in CDU. He's currently working in SDS project. It's great to have Jack. Really love your energy. We have Rifat. So Rifat, he's an entrepreneur who just graduated, I guess, few years ago from CDU. He's one of the international students who has started his own company. He used to work at NTJ before. And welcome, Rifat. By the way, if you want any good IT services, TrueBlue IT Services provide really great service. Now, we have Frank Espinoza. So he's currently working as a technical developer in CDU. And one thing I want to highlight about Frank is that he has not got any IT degree. He's not, bachelor's of IT. He's not a master of IT student. Still, he's one of the best technocrat that I have ever met. He's one of the best coder. He always gives me good tips about coding. So he's the guy who's self-studies, doing everything from YouTube, Stack Overflow, and various online tools. So Frank, thank you for coming.
I never judge you too.
And
yeah, and Frank was also the winner for IT Innovation Challenge in 2020.
he holds a background in finance, but his passion is in IT. So next we have Hong. So Hong is one of the, also he was winner of the IT CodeFair previous, and he's currently working as a senior programmer in CDU. So welcome, Hong. And last but not the least, the legendary Barbara White. So she has over, I guess, 15 years of working experience in the industry, and she's currently working as a user design specialist in the NTG. All right. Oh. All right, so we begin with the industry panel discussion. So I'm just gonna have a seat now because I cannot stand for an hour. It's working here. So thank you for coming, all the guests, and thank you guys for coming here, making it such a huge event today, because we only anticipated to have like 30, 40 people, but we are having a lot more guests. So starting, is it possible that you can maybe, before starting, maybe you can just introduce yourself, like what is like the profession that you are in, what are the biggest challenges that you are facing, you're working on, basically something that is, far bigger challenge than, we can think of as students.
Wasn't the question, was it? That's not fair. I think one of the biggest challenges that I'm facing in one of the projects I'm working on is not the coding side, but getting government to agree to share data. And it is one of the hardest things that I've come across. We're building this really cool app that you can actually get 360-degree view of a child with data from different agencies. And by agencies, I mean health, police, education, territory families, housing. But so far, the only data we've been able to use is what the owner of the app actually owns. And all the others are an ongoing conversation, which we've been having for 2 years. So that's one of the really interesting things when you're working on projects, particularly around data. Data is one of the most interesting areas going forward.
Yeah, my name is Tom. Currently, I'm a programmer with ITMS. What I do is I code every day and do a coffee in the morning. And then
code, sleep, repeat.
Yeah, pretty much. And then you just pray that your code doesn't break. That's what you do as a programmer.
Eat, code, swear, sleep, repeat.
Yeah, that part too.
And I tested to break it.
Yes. I guess the biggest challenge is, I don't know if that's a challenge for every programmer, but maybe it's for me, myself, because all the companies that I've joined so far, they are not a programming company, per se. They are a tech company, but they are not a programming company. So a lot of time when you join as a programmer, so you're trying to bring standard into the company, so you're causing a change, and people will, people don't like it because they're like, this is how I've been doing for 20 years, so you can't tell me to do it otherwise, right? So that's like the hardest part, especially nowadays, the tech changes like so quickly. We used to be coding in Angular and, a lot of like very popular frameworks, but nowadays people are talking about Next.js and then a lot of like TypeScript stuff, So you just have to keep upgrading yourself so that you're not like behind tech. And then that's the biggest fear as a programmer. You can never be behind the tech. You have to be always at the front. Otherwise, you can just get replaced anytime. Yeah, that's it.
Hello everyone, my name is Frank. I come from Melbourne. Like they said before, don't have any IT degree formally. Well, I have a master of finance in Melbourne, but I went to a lot of computer units, which was cool. Currently working as technical developer at SDX. Before I was self-learning for around 2 years. Then I think CDU just snatched from my other work. Now I'm working here. Biggest challenge, I don't know, personally, my biggest challenge right now is trying to lose weight. Other than that, I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, it's all right.
Yeah, what is the goal? Once you have a passion for it, any difficulties that you have or any challenges that you feel, it doesn't feel like a challenge. When you have passion for it, when you really love what you're doing, even if you have to pull out 16 hours a day or something like that, it really doesn't feel like work. Just like fun.
Hello everyone, my name is Rufat. I run an IT business in Darwin City. It's called True Blue IT Services. My biggest challenge at this moment is I'm getting a lot of praise. I'm 27 and I've decided to start a business. So that was kind of crazy idea, but it's working. Last week I got a confirmation of a project that I'm doing one of the biggest indigenous corporation. Yes, and then the challenge I'm facing at this moment on that project is they do not speak in English.
What a surprise.
They speak in Urno-Mata language, which I never knew before. So if anyone knows this language, please come forward after this event. I'd love to talk to you and get some help. Apart from that, yes, it's a new challenge for me, but I'm enjoying the journey. It's a great adventure. I think the biggest adventure in my life. And I'm trying, I'm learning. I still feel like I'm a student. So yeah, student life is full of struggles, adventure, and challenges. So yeah, I think I'm coping it up with it well, and I'll go forward with it. Okay, thank you.
G'day folks, I'm Jack. I'm a business analyst. I did this last year to a much smaller group of people without lights. It's a little intimidating. My background was I'm ex-military, 20 years in the army. A lot of people ask me, so did you do IT in the army? I said, no, I drove a tank. So how'd you get into IT?
It was easier than driving a tank.
So I've worked in a variety of areas over the last 15 odd years in projects ranging from network and installs through, I've done service desk work, desktop support, Windows sysadmin, a little bit of testing. I've been involved in a variety of those areas. And that's how I ended up finding out that my superpower was not being a systems administrator. It was in talking to people, communicating. And that was something that I found that not only I could do and get paid well for, I could do and actually enjoy. And to the delight of several of my managers, I stopped playing with systems that I could break really well. And I could do some business analysis that they didn't want to do because that involved talking to people. And apparently that was hard. My biggest challenge is finding more people like me right now. Not kidding. Finding business analysts is actually, frankly, probably know this, it's a bit of a challenge in getting that for our project. So that wraps up my bit. What's your next question?
It's not exactly following the stuff, so program. I have another question for Mark actually.
Thank God.
You mentioned about you using data as 10 years, the legacy data that you're working with. So can you really share us why is it really difficult to convince someone to access the data even within organizations?
Everybody can see the benefit of it, but I think there are so strict laws in territory about information privacy, is that if you put some data about a young person, so I'll give you a scenario. Territory families look after a whole range of children who are considered at risk. They consider at risk for a whole range of reasons. But how that normally starts, or one of the ways that can start, is that someone brings up and makes a mandatory report. I think you didn't know that everybody in the Northern Territory is responsible for making a mandatory report. Did you know that? You see a kid at farm, legally, you're responsible for making a mandatory report for someone. I had no idea about that until I started on this project. And the whole idea of doing it, from my perspective, is really quite scary. But police do every day as part of their work. So we developed a way of getting that data. And one of my challenges is how to build a form that the police will fill out and give quality data to the people and families so that they make the right decisions. So that's the background. So normally, there's a report comes in, the charity partner worker has to go into the system, and then in the system there's a little icon that says 360-degree view of the child. You click on that, and that will give you a whole lot of information about that child, including their close connections. And it's the close connections that's causing some of the issues, because the close connection could be their mother, their father, their grandmother. But often in those families, their children are at risk. There's a whole history in that family that could be very problematic. And so sharing that, or having it shared in a way that people can find out, because you all know how small Darwin is and how small little territory is. That's one of the biggest issues with this. So does that explain it? It has a huge benefit, which you can see, but it has a huge risk. And it's balancing those two in sort of cutting edge software. This software can be built anywhere else in Australia. So we would also be doing something new. And for the military to do something new is pretty unusual in IT. So I'm going to get over here.
Doing something innovation in IT is pretty challenging in TNT, we're gonna prove you wrong. Yeah. So my next question is about AI. Like, you know, our CodeFair theme is AI this year. And I just want to ask you, like, you all veterans in the IT industry, you actually a veteran. Will AI replace programmers, or will AI replace BAs and DAs? And what are your thoughts on that?
Well, looking at you, huh?
Oh, I'm happy to start. No. AI is going to, it's already letting us do our work more effectively. I still have a son who's at university, and he told me how he was using AI, and it's really good telling me, oh, he's been on a trip at university for 20 odd years, how he's using AI to do his assignments. But he said he was doing his assignment. My younger son is also a roving professional sportsman, and right now he's in Europe. And next week, I think he might be in Australia, or he might be in the US, I have no idea. So he's actually studying while he's doing all this stuff. So put that in context. But he had a tournament on, he actually had to complete his assessments on time. So he was doing something in an area that he wasn't really familiar with. We finished next semester in college, but that's another story. But he got stuck. He did the first task, and that was fine. And then he couldn't get started with the second task. So what he did is he put the task into ChatGPT, and it gave him a starting point. He said he looked at what came out, and he thought, honestly, I'm going to fail. So, but he said it unblocked where he was onto, and he was able to keep going. And I think at the moment there's all this scaremongering about AI, but we're using it often in software every day without even realising it's there. I think that's one of the things. Certainly in my area, I can see lots of ways where I can be more efficient. And given there's not a lot of user experience people in Darwin, being more efficient would be fantastic. An ex-student of mine has just conducted, she works in the Chief Minister's office in comms. She's just conducted a workshop with people there about how they can use AI to make their work more efficient and more effective. So I think instead of being scared of new technology, let's find out how we can make it work for us. And no, it won't do away with programmers, and it won't do away with PAs, because AI can't talk to people, and it's only as good as the data that's put into it.
That's really cool.
I'll go first. Well, I read a lot of articles of economists. Well, short summary, AI will never replace programmers. because similar to like artificial intelligence right now, in the past 20, 30 years ago, people were getting scared for similar things like about smaller technology or other technology. So exactly what you see right now every day. It has already happened in the past, so people get scared, they think, oh, maybe this technology is going to replace us, blah, 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 blah. But in reality, it never happens. So that's one thing. Also, I also read that there are some studies that say that, for example, if there is a program of artificial technology that, for example, that you use and that could replace you, what happens in most cases in companies is that it helps you with your tedious tasks much faster, and the time you have free, you can actually use it to do much more many things. So it actually helps you to be much more productive. And finally, at least in the next 3 to 4 years, like the legacy of the library is that if you ask ChatGPT for some code or something like that, it just gives you very bad code. Like the quality of the generative models just gets going down. So at least in the worst case scenario, in the next 3 to 4 years, AI is not going to replace those.
I agree. The quick survey. Who here has used Google? There we go. Now, keep your hand up if you've also used Slack or GitHub or anything for coding and so on. Okay. You're doing that as students. When you're doing it as a professional, you're doing it for real, when you're doing it for a job, still do that. It's just a tool. There was a thing a few years ago that there hasn't been an original piece of code written. It's just been copied down, and somebody's done a Git clone, somebody's done that, and the repositories are just getting used. ChatGPT is basically just reading those and shortcutting to there. The bit where you come in isn't that you're able to regurgitate a stock standard piece of code. It's knowing how to fit that to suit the solution, knowing what questions to ask, and having that awareness of the business, and then being able to plug all of that together. And that is something that AI can't do. So that's the bit that you need to be. If you can be replaced by a 16-year-old script kiddie who's able to copy and paste, you're not going to last long. You've got to work on those other skills, figuring it out, problem solving, challenging stuff. I would strongly urge you to not panic about, is ChatGPT coming for my job? What you've got to do is make sure that you are going into the job or having the skills that leaves ChatGPT in the dust.
On this topic, I think pretty much everyone has summed it up, but I do have a little bit of a different view in terms of whether or not you will take your job. For the most part, it will. Okay, so if you're a self-sufficient programmer or a very self-sufficient developer, it doesn't have to be a programmer, it can be anything. AI is a tool, that's correct. It's empower you to do things more efficiently, quicker, and possibly better if you know how to solve it. But that said, there's a lot of figures out there. Okay, if you just look at GitHub Copilot, they actually publish figures that saying there are 76% of programmers think that they do things 50% quicker. That said, given those data, that basically tells us if a project that requires 10 persons 1 year to do the job, they could instead hire 5 persons to get it done in 6 months, to get it done in a year. So the math kind of adds up. So I think saying that we should be afraid of AI, it's just not correct. But you should know that you need to be self-sufficient and you need to be constantly learning so that you won't get kicked out by and the industry. So if you're just someone who can copy and paste, you definitely need to get better on that. Yeah. So like Frank said, right? So if anyone who is use ChatGPT, you know that it's not a one-to-one copy and paste that it works. It's not that magic. Okay. Sometimes it does. No, I have to say. Like my work so right now is definitely more efficient and easier, I would say, because of AI. But does that mean it will replace me right now? Probably it won't. But in the futures, I don't know, maybe, right? So we always have to, think about it. So with that said, in order to not too worry about this, you have to branch out. Okay, you probably don't want to be a programmer for your whole life. Okay, because it's really hard to constantly keep up with the technology. So you have to branch out. So you can learn about operation side of things. So because you have developer experience, once you learn the operation side of things, you can be a DevOps engineer, right? DevOps engineer is not something that can be replaced by AI because you have to design it, right? It has to be designed catered to the need of a company or how they operate. So it's really like a very specific thing. So far, AI is not capable of that. So it's very important to branch out. Okay, so also AI is not going to be a VA. Okay, it's never going to be that. Okay, it's not going to sit there and ask people questions. It's just not its role. So just to conclude, so basically just branch out and learn a lot more than just being a coder. There's a lot more in IT than just being a programmer. And there's a cap in programming as well, so you can always branch out. So you can find your even further goals in your career that way. It will be easier.
Well, let's go to 3,000 years back. Okay.
When I was a teenager.
Oh, yes. Yours look like teenager. So, long before, the kings or their associates, they used to, bring such a great weapons, they used to create some revolutionary weapons and pretended that that's probably going to, that's probably will make them the king of the whole world, like the king, Alexander, Caesar, and many of them, they thought just like that way, that okay, it's going to, and some people probably thought as them as well. But what was the result, outcomes? We study history, we studied, our ancestors, and what we have got to know that they as well thought oh, this will probably end, the human revelation, there's not going to be more human revelation, but it's still happening. It will happen. And even one thing I believe, studying history and learning technology and using ChatGPT is that, the fear that we human beings at this point are holding in our mind, we shouldn't, because it's just a tool. Do not compare a tools with human being. A lot of people ask these questions, does ChatGPT or AI or this and that will replace human being? Well, there was a very special weapons that Sultan Mehmed has, his soldiers has invented, in 12th century, and they thought as this okay, it's going to bring a huge revolution. They're going to take over the whole world, and it didn't happen. Same goes to ChatGPT. Same goes to more and more technology or more and more huge or big innovations, that will come in this world. So It's sometimes I feel kind of silly when you compare us to a technology, a tools. We should not, Let's be versatile, as they're all saying. Let's be versatile. Let's learn things, adopt things, but do not compare yourself. You are the best. You will be the best forever. Thank you.
That was very insightful, and as you said, revolution is too open, and this is the new tech revolutions that happen. Just a quick question for the audience: how many of you wants to, someday, after like whatever number of years after you fulfill your, age goal of getting a job and stuff, how many of you want to really start a company? Can you please say that?
Competitors.
Or few hands raising. Great. So we have a few entrepreneurs seeing us and including me as well. So one question that I want to ask all of you is that what is the biggest problem that NT is facing that maybe the entrepreneurs can actually work on solving that particular problem, and maybe and that really needs to get it solved. Anybody would like to go?
Go give away our.
So what I'm saying is, let's say for example, you want to start a company, and I want to solve a particular problem. So what problem do you think needs to be addressed first? Like, what is the biggest problem that is facing in the NT that needs to be solved?
In the NT?
With the help of technology.
Well,
the biggest problem, digital problem in the NT is access. People who live in Darwin have access, it's no issues. However, if you travel by car from Darwin to other streams, you'll go through lots of places where there's no access. You can't access the phones, can't do anything. The issue is, how do we actually make sure that digital is equitable? Not only that, for it to be equitable, people also need to be able to afford it. My husband worked in a very remote community for the last 2.5 years. It's 6,500 jobs. Until they put new lines in, it was almost impossible to get connectivity easily. You had to get satellite technology put onto his house so he could have the technology to contact me or do anything else for his job. So the huge, I think, gap in technology everywhere is, how do you organize and how do you build something that will enable you to connect people no matter how far away they are from overseas? That is a huge one. I don't know if there's any solution on the horizon, but that would make such a difference. Also, devices that people with low incomes can access, because all information now is basically digital. You don't have a device, and in many Indigenous communities, there might be 1 or 2 devices, which are usually phones, but no one can afford a computer, in a whole house of 20 people. So there's one of the biggest challenges I see.
Thanks. I was hoping he was going to take that. Agreed. The access to the internet. A long time ago, we used to think that people getting access to knowledge, to information, and so on was what we needed to solve and bring everybody up. It turns out that giving them access to information didn't stop them making dumb decisions. But yeah, that initial access and that democratization, to use a really big word, it just means people get access and people get open access to data, ability, information, government services, above, access to water, clean drinking water, it's probably now one of the most essential parts to lifting out not just the Northern Territory, but our planet. We're talking, we're going to be cracking 10 or 11 billion people by the end of this century. We need to figure out how we're going to feed, cope, protect, and look after those people with the resources we've got. And the key to that is possibly sitting in this room, figuring it out and being able to get that information out there. 20 odd years ago, if I told people that the entire infrastructure of the modern world was going to be built on something that was maintained by a bunch of volunteer hobbyists who weren't paid a cent, on software that didn't cost a cent, that was copied around the world, they would have said that I was mad. Actually, it was more like 30 years ago. The reality of it today is that you all know what I'm talking about. Open source software, the biggest operating system on the planet is given away for free. The top 10 supercomputers in the world are run on Linux. It's out there. That model of open source and sharing and so on is incredibly powerful. We need to then harness and tap into that and sharing information out there and utilising the data that we've got, the petabytes of data that's rolling around. The ability to share data with constraints is probably one of the most important parts of that. Occasionally I hear people saying, oh, blockchain will fix everything. Really? You see my Bitcoin wallet? They're all parts of this. But if you're looking to get access and the democratization of information, if you're working in that area, that's going to be something that you make an entire career out of, quite lucrative, and will have the biggest update. Bringing somebody from Bangladesh, information and knowledge about female reproductive care has done more to help that country's GDP than almost anything else. They didn't have, they weren't sitting on top of billions of litres of oil, but they've actually managed to, through knowledge, turn their country around through just adding that little bit of information. Going to see that coming out of Africa, where being able to get data out to people, getting information out to people, being able to allow them to communicate, whether it's via cellular networks or otherwise, that revolutionises the effects of people. I believe, Rufa, you're actually working on something that's like getting the hardware into people's hands at the moment, aren't you? Okay. That's called the segue.
Well, I will share my experience within the last 8 months, what I have faced, what I'm still facing. So the industry is very limited, as you know, as you have seen. We live in a small city, but though it's a matter of technology, I believe, I don't know, it might be a crazy idea to you or to someone, but what I believe is technology and information technology doesn't have any border. I don't know what you think, but when you're working with technology, when you're working with IT, I don't think it's a border. Let's give you an example. I am Rifat. I'm running an IT company in Darwin, a small city in Australia, in Northern Territory. And after I have started this, I have got a call from Founder Institute, the biggest venture capitalist in the world. They have reached out to me to collaborate with me, and they have done a bit of research. We are still in touch. They've done a bit of research, and we're still trying to figure out where shall we start, how can we start, They came in Darwin a few years back, tried to collaborate with the government, but didn't got good response. That's why they left. But they're still trying to reach out because they are in South Australia, they're in Western Australia, and New South Wales too. So they are trying to come into a Northern Territory and trying best. So they have reached out to me somehow, and then they have seen I'm running a startup, and then I might be the right person, and that's why they are continuously reaching out and contacting with me. So can you feel it? Like, I have never heard of Founder Institute before. Their head office is in Silicon Valley in United States of America, and they're reaching out to me because they don't. When they reached out to me, they didn't look at the border. Okay, where are these guys from? Where are they located? They just have seen there are possibilities on them. There are possibilities in them. So they just reached out to me. So the biggest challenge of this industry in IT, I believe, like, we don't think like that. We are just, we are keeping our thoughts and ideas very limited just within NT, and also we do be delayed to start using the latest technology sometimes in some places, especially in the government. Last year I went to Melbourne. I run another organization called CodeFair. You might have heard of it. So I went to Melbourne. I was super surprised when I've seen it. An 11 years old kid, he on a CodeFair challenge, giving an idea of planting trees which will bring NFT and cryptocurrency to you. I was so surprised. He pitched it very well. He pitched it very well, and I thought, like, okay, where are we in NT? Like, we have got a lot of participants, but still, like, if we could think a bit wiser, think a bit borderless, I think we could do better, and which is very important. And I have got my mentors in here, they definitely know better than me, like what's happening in the industry. But one thing I would say, I think borderless. So the industry should have think borderless, the government should have think borderless, everyone, all of you should think borderless, so that we can grow and we can reach out, we can dream big, we can go wherever we wish. Woo!
So that's just a heads up. Very interesting when you work in and so I agree with Rita. Think outside the box. Like, you still have to work out how you do that in an organisation that's not comfortable with it happening. Because that's where you might finish up.
Last question?
Okay.
Sure. This is for actually Barbara. So UI UX is more of an UX.
Yeah. So UI UX is more kind of an abstract reality, like development, the work. It's more kind of like a hardcore kind of thing. But what is it?
I read that when you sent that to me, and I just said, no, I disagree. With UI and UX, user experience, human-centered design. Now, Dante talked about design thinking. Some of you, I hope, are learning what design thinking is as part of your course. But human-centered design means you focus on building whatever you do for the people who have to use it. That could be business users. But these days, it's not just business users, it's business users. And it's the digital services that organisations want to provide to people, because that's our expectation. If you grew up as a Gen Z, and I would imagine most of you were born after 1997, hands up if you're not born after 1997.
Okay, so you were born after 1985 then, is that right? Yeah, I got my first computer in 1984, guys.
Yep.
So coming back to what you asked, for me, human-centered design is about designing interaction. And it doesn't matter whether the interaction is to complete a form, which can be very difficult, or whether the interaction is to actually record information for a business, whether the interaction is, what are you guys doing at the moment on SDX? Is that all the student system stuff? Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah. But you're still designing interactions, and they're all small interactions that grow into a big interaction. So part of designing interactions can be quite abstract and conceptual, but much of it has to come down to you're building a prototype, you're building a screen. And for me, if you design your interaction correctly, the screen disappears and you can just do your business. When I first started in IT, I came out of early childhood teaching. So I was teaching grade 1, 2 and 3. And because I got my first computer in 1984, people thought, oh, she knows a bit about it, she might be able to do this. Mind you, when I actually asked to be a person who helped other people learn computers, I told them I couldn't do it because I was a girl. Hence my comment when I first came up here about this. Next year, get a girl, I think I'm a girl, it's really good. But what I realised, and my first job, I was seconded from the government in Queensland, I was a teacher there, to the University at James Cook. And my job was to teach teachers about social justice. Does anyone know what social justice is? I didn't. I thought, what? And not only that, I was to teach them through something called multimedia. Who's heard of multimedia? Good. Who's heard of authorware? That's what I thought would happen. Authorware was the software we were using. It was, and I sat down the first day I started the job, and I started going through this. And on every screen, there was at least 10 fonts on every screen. And 10 colours. But it gets better. 10 sounds. So you would arrive on the screen and it was stuff all over the place and there were things happening and it was, and so it was either like that or the other thing that really got me going was it would ask a question. And if I typed in an answer that wasn't in the person's head that actually wrote that software, do you think I could go any further? I was stuck. It was the best introduction for me to have not to build software, which is then what I use to learn how to build software. Hands up anyone here who's heard of Don Norman. Okay, so Don Norman was the key person for human-centered design in Apple. He was the main person that actually was responsible for a lot of the really good Apple products in the first generation. I think I was introduced to him in this period, and I think that's when I learned that what I was doing was interaction design. It had a name, it was what it was about. So interaction design can be quite abstract, but mostly it's very concrete, and it's very similar to the BA roles. You're talking to people, you're finding out what they want. But then the next thing is there's a whole lot of psychology theory and other theory. The best thing about human-centered design is it's interdisciplinary. And so you get learnings from everybody. Miller's plus or minus 7 plus or minus 2. That's how many things we can hold in our head at any one time. I use that all the time. The crack design principles, contrast, repetition, alignment, proximity. I use that every single day. In fact, I was sitting at the airport the other day and looking at the things coming up on the screen, and I started applying my crack principles because there was some centered text, and anybody that works with me knows that I can't stand centered text because nobody can read it. If you want people not to read something, center it and put it all in text. That will work 100%.
Yep.
So that's what human-centered design user experience is about. It's very concrete, it's also very abstract, it's very creative, and you're forever solving problems, and it's great fun. So government's beginning to realise they need human-centered people. I'm the only person at the moment working in a human-centered role in government. But someone from down south has come up and realised that they need them. So if you're interested, that could be an area. If you've got any sort of design skills and you like people and you know how to walk in their shoes, think about human-centered design and user experience. I've got my ad out now.
Thank you. All right, guys, so we are actually over time, and thank you guys for coming. I guess we are
Thank you. Before we go, I've got something I want you guys to do. Who's got a device on them? Quick, rip out your phones. I know that this isn't the way you normally do things when people are talking to you. Grab your phones. I want you to do a quick Google search. CDU LibGuides. The library LibGuides for CDU. I want you to have a look, pull up that page. There is a reason for me getting you to do that right now. And he knows. We were just talking about human design and some of the organisational for it. Okay, I've got a loud voice. Okay, the reason I'm getting you to look this up is because not that I want to promote the library LibGuides, probably don't have a great deal of use for them, but we needed to, in CDU library, we just had a plain text list of these are the subjects. This is where you go. These are all the topics that you get for them. That's it. It was just plain text on a white background. It had ridiculously low take-up rate. There was, I think you went to referencing and that was about it. Now what is it? Have you guys found the page? Have you found the CDU LibGuides? Just give me a quick indication if you stick your hand over and found it. Okay, yep. Now it's got pictures. You're able to see stuff and go in and see those? Yeah. That was a process of going into 20 people, getting a design, and we got our work experience kid to build that. Like you introduced you to Ash, our work experience kid who built that. That is actually his. He did that. Our rates, the important thing about this is not to embarrass Ash, but to show you that, and then our takeoff rate, our people who are actually using the LibGuides, it has gone up more than 5 times in the, how long ago did we do that? How long ago was it that we did that? Yeah, well, that's how long it took us to do it. But how long ago did we do it? It's like 6 months?
January.
January? Yeah, 6, 7 months? Yeah, 5 times. We haven't changed anything else. We just put pretty pictures and how to get to it and made it mobile friendly. That's human design. All of the code, there was all of the coding and so on behind that. It was making it accessible to the students and putting it in a way that the students could use it. Suddenly it's through the roof. So yeah, backing up on the user design.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I'll give you back to Ash now.
Thank you, Jack. Thank you, everyone.
Guys.
Anybody has any questions for? Any questions?
Okay, so my one would be a little bit job specific. When you were saying that you are looking for more business analysts, I'm a bit curious to know that what do you think, what are the qualities that make a person a successful business analyst?
You asked a lot. Okay, things that I'm looking for in a business analyst. First and foremost, I mentioned the ability to talk to people. That is a skill set. Talk at people, one skill set, but listening. I probably should have said listening. That's the skill set. The ability to listen, hear, understand, take that in, and then translate it to people at home or friend, and being able to give them a useful set of things. It's like, we want clients to be able to do business. I'm going to be able to take that and say, hey guys, I need you to spin up a web form that gives us access into an Oracle database that only allows these fields into this. They love that. But the person on the other end just said, I need to be able to do work. So that listening, that ability to be able to listen and translate. The other tech stuff, we can probably teach. If you've got a background in networking, if you've got a background in coding, I don't care whether you're able to code in Rust, C, C++, COBOL, for those of us who are around a long time ago. The technical side of it, as long as you've got an understanding of the basics, so some basic understanding of data structures and so on, that's fine. A little bit of understanding of networks and the 7 layers of the OSI model. Any network streams out here who even know what I'm talking about? Okay, yeah, you got a beard, you look like a network tech. That ability, knowing that, and being able to translate it into the reason you can't get on the internet is because DNS. It's always DNS, isn't it? Yeah. But knowing that and being able to translate it to, okay, the router's not telling you what its result is, we're going to fix that for you. That ability, and I see it sometimes in service deskers, I'm like, yeah, you're going to be a BA because you can talk to people. Okay?
Can I add to that, please? Because
please give her a working microphone. Barbara deserves a working mic.
BAs also need, because what was just said was you do the designs and give them to them. No, please don't do that. Because do you know what happens then? And I'm working on a project where this really has happened. The BAs are great, but they're in remote locations, they're not all in one place. There's been no design or style developed to start with. So a BA will take one set of things and they'll develop that. Then they'll hand it off to a particular dev that they're working with and he'll build it. Then another BA will do almost the same, but they use different labels, they put them in different places.
Oh, yes.
And they give it to another dev, and see, the devs build what the BAs give them. Yep. But I'm working with a piece of software at the moment, which is going to be the tax area of government going forward. And every single component is not consistent. So I can look at any page at the moment on this project, and I've got all caps for some of the buttons. I've got sentence case for some of the buttons. I've got, sometimes I've got title case as well. On one page, on one screen. So please, BAs, learn some UX skills.
Yes. Anybody else?
Anybody else have any questions? Yes.
So, is this a US skill? What can you clarify what is US skill?
Sorry, it was UX, user experience. Sorry. Or user-centered design, or human-centered design. It's one of those areas of IT that sort of, because it's so interdisciplinary, it doesn't have a name that stays the same for very long.
Cool. Any more? Any questions? Guys?
I have a question for Barbara. Yeah, because I see you was a project manager before, and then sorry, on the LinkedIn profile, sorry.
Project manager, oh, that would have been a very long time ago.
Yeah. And then you was send your letter, then you come to the UX specialist, like the position at the moment. So I thought would like to know like how the project management or project manager and project management, and also like as a business analyst, how it gonna help to
develop, if not like career in US?
I think when I was a project manager, that was, sorry. When I was a project manager, that was at JCU, and I was actually managing the development of all the learning materials, and we were actually developing learning materials at JCU to go up to the Torres Straits. So people in the Torres Straits, Indigenous people in the Torres Straits didn't actually have to come down to a university like Townsville or Cairns or Brisbane or whatever. It was so they could learn in their own area. So that was a very specific role, and I had probably managing a team of about 15, and my goal as a project manager in that team, because I knew nothing about project management, I was just organising them, was making sure that if I broke the software, they were in trouble. So from there, I actually got a job at CDU, and who uses LearnLine? Right. Guess who came up with the name LearnLine?
You can blame her.
So my job when I first came to CDU was in the learning area, basically the central area. It was distance education, and they were doing print documents, and they wanted to move into tech. So that was my job. We built websites in HTML2 as part of our stuff. Oh my God. Yes, exactly. And so we were going to get a learning management system. There were two around, and this was around the year 2000. There were two around. Blackboard was one, and the other one I can't remember the name of now, but Blackboard bought it in about 2005. But I canvassed all my friends at different universities and what they were using, and between the two, Blackboard was good for people with not a lot of IT skills. And when I first came to CDU in 1998, not all academics had an email address and not all academics had a computer. That blew my mind. So I figured that if we're going to have a a learning management system, it needed to be fairly easy to use, and Blackboard was easy to use. As a person then who started teaching and having to use it, 15 years later, or 10 years later, but no, actually it was only 4 years later. For a while I loved it, and I think for the last 5 years, maybe more than that, there are better learning management systems out there now. The software has progressed, it's modified and whatever, and I kept stirring up people saying, isn't it time to get X, Y, and Z? So you can see my career has been a range of different challenges. The core part of it really is still always been about designing interactions. So if you're interested in designing interactions, I think you can move through a range of things, and I'm still designing interactions 30-something years later, so, and I'm never bored.
Anyone else?
Someone who's coming to the end of their studies and been a bit nervous about getting into the career. I've had a chance to network here in Darwin, but say, for instance, I was to go somewhere else and look for work. What are some tips or recommendations for like using LinkedIn, or if you were to look at a candidate from interstate, what would you look for if they... I know Darwin is very focused around industry here, CDU concentrates on that a bit. Yeah, just tips.
Gimme. Anybody else want a piece of this? Okay. I'll be brief and then hand over to you. Okay. You've asked the $1 million question, how do I get a job? I've got the degree, how do I get the job? There's a couple of points that are going to be common across all of you, and this is Jack's tips to how to get a job. First of all, you're not going for a job, you're solving a problem. The problem they have is they don't have somebody to do blah. You need to fill that. So it's not about saying everything that you've got in your degree, your background and so on. It's how do I fix that
person's problem? What's the issue that they have? So you tailor everything towards that. When you're doing applications, when you're doing resumes, figure out what it is that you do that's different to the 375 other candidates that are also applying for that job. In some cases, when you're first coming out, it's I need to get a graduate position, and then it's just here's my string of why I'm shiniest and best. But when you are actually going into that job, it's solving a problem for the person, because when I've been in the position of having to hire somebody, I'm like, I have an issue. This person has a whole bunch of fluff, don't know. That person hasn't addressed the selection criteria at all. Yeah. That person has made misspellings on there, and no. That's how quick I'm going through. That's not exaggerating. I'm calm because I've got a lot. If you're solving the problem that I've got and you're focusing it on that job area and target, I have done. I am capable of. I can do blah. I can solve ish. That is how you target it. Getting out of Darwin, getting to those other places, network now, network last week. You go to things and you start your LinkedIn and you start talking to people and you start connecting to people. You reach out. When you reach out, don't just hit the button that says reach out. Contact, Do you want to let it know with this? No, you can't be shy. Put something in there that you've seen on their profile. Hey, I saw you posted about blah. I think that's really cool. If it's okay, connection. That makes them feel seen, and then you're not just going spam. Because we get a lot. If you want to chase up, I've got a LinkedIn. I'm easily findable, and I will be on there to give you suggestions, tips, hints, and so on, and how to do that. Feel free, hit me up. I will give advice, whether you ask for it or not. It will be stated. Okay, over to you.
So I agree with all of that. I think the first thing to think about, and what I'm doing now is sort of reflecting on the many students that I've seen actually finish from CDU and get jobs. Did you know, there is a CDU student who's working for the World FIFA soccer game or something like that in Alabama. I told him. He helped me teach other kids. How did he get that job? He started working here with a local company. He got the job basically out of CodeFair. Then he saw this job came up. He applied for it. He made sure that his LinkedIn profile was showing the sort of work he could do. But he had to jump through 4 sets of interviews. The third one and the second one were coding. And this was just, I think, he started before COVID and came in. But the other thing was he had to have a number of different teams meetings. They offered to fly him from Darwin to Alabama, and he said, that's going to take 36 hours. Do you think we could just do it on Teams? So after the 4 interviews, he got the job. He's now team lead over there. He was back in Darwin at Christmas time. Unfortunately, I didn't get to catch up with him. But that's one example of what's possible. I think having a little bit of experience in Darwin so you can show what you've done probably isn't a bad thing. However, I have arranged it, and I have a couple of other students who've sort of done those sorts of things as well, started in Darwin and then gone off. There's another games developer that started here and he's now working in Melbourne, but he's mostly coding for games company in the US as well. So they're the sorts of opportunities, but Brisbane, Sydney and Melbourne have most IT jobs. How you present yourself on LinkedIn is really important, and can I give you another tip? When I look at LinkedIn, when I'm doing job applications, if I see that someone there has had lots of short-term jobs in IT, I question why.
Yeah, red flag.
Absolutely, it's a red flag. And it's a red flag often that comes to be true if that person's been appointed. And I mean, I'm so bad at checking out people. We had someone come up to do a human-centered design thing in government the other day. And at the beginning of the meeting, I'm on LinkedIn on my phone, just checking out what his background was to see whether I was going to actually, whether he had any credibility. So I think your LinkedIn profile is absolutely central. Make sure that it shows the sorts of things you can do. If possible, link it to GitHub or whatever else that you're doing like that. So if you've got an online portfolio, make those things available. But make sure that what you make available is polished.
That help? Excellent.
Well, I will not talk the perspective of John or Barbara. I will talk the perspective of you, because I was looking for a job within last year, and then what I have faced, what I have found, what I have realized is gain some local experience, whatever it is. Can be volunteering, can be anything. Recently, for a government project, I had a meeting with a recruitment consultancy company in my floor of office, and they have advised this as well, that gain as much as possible local experiences. Could be related to volunteering, could be related to to your job field, and that might help you, because if you can present small thing as an eye-catching things, if you have that mindset, because people ask me that, how do you always stay active and post those things? Because I have got to know, I have learned it, I had to learn it, because if I do not promote my company or myself, I will not get clients or customers, and I'll die starving next day. So I had to do it, and I think it's not because of business. It's because it's your business too, finding a job at this point. So do whatever it takes to get the job. So be out there, talk, be part of organizations. We know it's small industry, but there are many organizations. Last year, at this stage here, at our awards night, one of our GoFact participants was talking to Barbara, and he was, too much engaged, and he convinced, and at the end he got a job under Barbara Cash. So look, you have to talk, and I am from your perspective. Most of us are international students. I was an international student as well, so I know it's we feel like, okay, will it be okay if I just jump on the conversation when people are having conversation together? Yes, it is quite fine. Yeah, I love it. When someone comes and talk to me, even when my mentors are talking, I wait there. Even I wait, for my chance to jump on the conversation with some topic. It could be relevant, but still I talk. And that's why they love me, I believe. So I make this happen and do that. There is no shame on it. No one hates me for this. Do you? No. So why not do this? Be part of conversation, be part of any big or small organization, do volunteering, it's fun too. I have been doing volunteering for Kind of Shape, GoFact, GoCorrect from last few years, and I'm enjoying it, I don't get bored. So do this, don't feel ashamed of, your accent or how good you speak, how bad you speak. No, it really doesn't matter. As long as you're approaching, that's what matters to these mentors and these recruiters. So approach, please. You will find it.
Yes.
We're gonna wrap this up now. Thank you for coming. Thank you, guys. Thank you for coming.
That was good. It's true. I do hate you.
All right. Yeah, that's why you comment on my post.
Oh, they're not letting us run yet. We're still tracking.
So thank you all for being here. Thank you for your good advice. It was really amazing to see how easy it is for us to get into
tech industry, and it's also about to get the opportunities and to be mindful about users, about people, about how we present ourselves. It's not just the technical part, that's just one part. So thank you all for your sharing your expertise with us. We wish you all the best, and of course, we wish you, of course, all the best too. So we will have a group photo. Can you please?
Okay.
And bear with us because we have prize for the photo.
Needs more grams.
Random policy, so.
Oh, okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So I would like to invite the winner, the previous winner, to be with us for the lucky draw. You all got a ticket when you register, so you're gonna be the one who's gonna give someone a prize. So please. So thank you for all people online. We have some trouble there.
Can you move to
you
here
want to reach out people,
and get that
you want to reach out the public.
It doesn't matter now.
Today, don't be nervous about it. And we can share about some useful process. So this is the this is gonna be the lucky person. So
821, black.
Tracy, who 821?
Dominic Chaudhary.
Thank you very much. So you're gonna give him the prize.
Two lucky men.
Yeah, we need more women participation. Thank you all for being here.
Group photo, group photo.
We're gonna have a group photo.
Wait.
Can everyone please join us here on stage? We're gonna close the door to have a group photo. So come here to the stage. Come on, don't be shy. If someone is on the door, stay there. Don't let anybody out. Come on, stay. You don't know after next year you're gonna be on the slide. So yeah, did you see how many faces we have there? All right, who's gonna take the photo? Come on, come here, please. We need some light.
Sit down for the first slide. Okay, you know.
I want to be the first one.
Sit down. Grab the first one.
Yeah.
Put like it up. Somebody can lie here.
Which one?
Okay. Not yet.
one.
I'm going to need your help cleaning up.
Thank you.
Serious, this camera. I'm never getting out. Oh, God.
Tracy, come on.
This is going to go all the way to the back. Actually, knees holding. See, this is smart. I'm lying down.
Yeah, keep on fair, guys. And on the count of 3, say IT CodeFair. I did not count. So 1, 2, and 3. IT CodeFair.
Thank you, everyone.
If you have plans to do a survey and let us know how you feel about the event today.
We're gonna, if you have some time, please do the survey for us so we can improve these events and also join us on social media. Thank you so much.
Yeah.